Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna look at NCT Dream on Dingo on Killing Voice. Now I have reacted to NCT on 1 to 7 on Dingo, and that's why I'm very excited to hear NCT Dream as well. I think that some members are in NCT 1 to 7 and in NCT Dream as well. I am a little confused by the concepts still. I just know that there are a different kind of subunits of NCT, but I'm really excited to hear that. From what I've understood, NCT Dream are the babies of the group. But before we start, let me ask you for a tiny little help. I'm currently working on a number of projects that I know that you guys will absolutely love, because it will contain so many of your favorite people and performers and singers, and part of it is me reaching out through my social media. So please don't forget to follow me on my Instagram. It will be really helpful and I will really appreciate it. And now, without any further ado, NCT Dream on Dingo Killing Voice. Alright, let's go.
달달한 에피타이저로 시작하도록 하겠습니다.
좋아요. Let's go.
딩고, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. That's right. Let's go.
Freaking when I check it with the team. So sold out with the vibe, need a theme. Song teacher put a spell on me like a beat. Come on.
Candy.
They're like a bunch of puppies, all right? It's really difficult to focus on any of them because they're constantly moving and they're very cute. But again, Mark, good intro, and even better intro into Candy. I love his huskiness and his voice. It's very charismatic. I think I've read somewhere that Mark is like the most stand member out of the entire NCT. I don't know if it's true, but I mean, okay, listen, I just discovered Jopin 2 days ago, and it changed a lot. It changed a lot, okay? A lot.
Yeah. H.O.T. NCT. H.O.T. NCT.
사실은 오늘 너와의 만남을 정리하고 싶어 널 만날 거야 이런 날이야
어렵게 마음 좀
Haechan is a gift from heavens with his voice. I love his voice so dearly. His singing style has a little bit elevated larynx. It makes it sound so really beautiful and really sweet. It's a certain technique that is not really foreign to K-pop. It's really frequent, but it has to be really paired with a voice that it really fits to. And Haechan has one of those voices that comes through with this technique so beautifully. So he has already really nice and sweet voice, and if you combine it with this tiny bit of a it's just coming through so nice.
내게 말할 거지만 사실 오늘 아침에 그냥 나 생각한 거야 햇살에 일어나 보니 너무나 눈부셔 다 변한 거야 널 향한 마음도 그렇지만 너
Gorgeous resonance, a little bit leaning forward. You can hear that it's not fully nasal, but you can hear a little bit of that nasal leaning forward. It is a nice place to lean on. It's pretty safe. If they did work on NCT Dream and they were trying to put together a really bright sounding voices, they're super youthful, very sweet, and kind of really like, not, I don't want to say light because they are not very light voices, but they're definitely like bright and really very sweet. They did a very good job. They were very consistent in that for NCT Dream for sure.
당신 널 사랑해 이렇게 말했지 이제껏 준비했던 많은 말을 뒤로 한 채 언제나 네 옆에 있을게 이렇게 약속을 하겠어 저 하늘을 바라다 보며
네 여러분들 안녕하세요. 7드림 NCT 드림이 딩고
also think that NCT Dream has a very interesting sound. I know that a whole NCT has this neo sound, but the NCT Dream takes on that neo sound is really unique. It's very different. It's very playful, a little retro. I don't know. At first, I have to admit, it took me a little bit of time to really align with that sound, but like I'm starting to really find the magic in it. Biggest part of it is also kind of like understanding that there's nothing even to compare with this. In a current kind of market, there's not a lot of bands or singers overall that would have a similar sound. It's very, very unique. So it takes a little bit of time to getting used to, but when you're in, you're in. You're not getting out.
킬링보이스 드디어 나왔습니다. 오늘 저의 많은 좋은 곡들을 재밌게 부르다 갈 테니까요. 여러분 함께 즐겨주세요.
I'm trying to find a sweet spot for the sound.
매운맛.
So I'm sorry.
That's right.
This song went viral all over the place on TikTok, everywhere. For the longest time, I didn't even know who it is by, but I guess that's the kind of the curse of the TikTok songs, that you just don't know who they are by, and you just try to find it, and you're like, what? This person sings that song? Like, it took me some time to connect that song to them, but listen, it was one of their, I think, first kind of like a bigger songs, and it immediately went this viral.
너무가 궁금해 나는 너만의 chef Damn 이건 너를 위한 play Yeah 내가 맛보여줄게
I'm gonna call it supported rapper. So the rapper who supports. No, listen, for that slide, that is a supported tone. In the end, I know it's classified as a rap. It's definitely not singing on its own. It's a very melodic rap. And there's a lot of pitch fluctuation. So we're getting that little slide up. But that is supported. The core is working there. Those abs are contracting.
설탕이 발린 맛은 인해질리긴 쉬워 뜨거운 나의 feeling 지금 느꼈지 넌 너와는 사이.
Alright, Haechan with those ad-libs right in the background with the sweetest voice in existence. I actually love his voice. He has a very soft, rounded sound in comparison to other guys in the group, which other voices are more metallic and bright. He has a little bit more muted sound, and it's a little bit of that sweet potato. Just a tiny little bit, not too heavy, just a hint of it. But I like the layer that it creates. It's very different. When he's singing, it's immediately like, wait, something changed. Something is a little different. The harmony was nice.
Dingo and seasoning. 안녕. 기다렸잖아.
기다렸어 어서 와 어디든 we're coming together 아무 걱정하지 마 절대 거야 hello future 너를 만나까지 더 빛나게
I did not expect this amount of harmony from them, I have to be honest. Usually we've got like either unisono singing or then the layering system, and this is quite a lot of work with vocal arrangement, which I'm like, hello, nice, very good. I've heard this song before. I actually felt like it was one of their really nice vocal songs, but so I was excited when I saw that it's gonna be in. So that was, most of that was in their mix. And then that might have been a little too loud. I apologize for that. I apologize to my neighbors as well. I'm usually recording these videos very late. And well, yeah, thank you neighbors. I'm so sorry. So listen to it one more time. Yeah. Really nice head mix, so you can hear that it's not belted, it's not chest mix, but it's definitely not in a head voice. It's not too light, but it is sitting in a really good placement, but most of the NCT has a really good movement across their passage, across their mix. Mix is not their enemy, as it is for a lot of people. Mix is something like a very dangerous field that they don't want to really dip into, but NCT is one of the groups that are super comfortable in there.
Hello future. On the way up, hello future.
The ad-libs in this song were... I think this is the first song I've ever heard from them, and this was the song where I was like, I'm not sure what I'm feeling, I'm not sure what I'm thinking. And now looking back at it, it's a road. You start somewhere and then you like retrospectively look at the song like glitch mode and you're like, I completely understand it now.
Trouble like a missed call. 비상이 걸려. Bumper ring yeah. I want a glitch mode.
Yeah, cold as buffering chile 이 scene.
너의 님은 clickbait. Going
되게
autopilot in the air.
어디서도 본 적 없던 수.
I really like their rappers, but I mean, Mark's presence is so loud. He is loud with his whole pretty face and great presence and charisma. He is loud. And definitely one thing contributing is his very dominant tone. He has a little bit of a huskiness, but it's not rounding his voice. His voice really cuts through. It's very provocative. He knows how to use it. He has a good support in it. And he's going for like really cutting edgy tones at all times. So he's never diffusing like ta da ta da ta ta da ta. No, it's like ta da ta da ta ta ta. Really direct and always just right in your face. We love it. We love Mark. Ooh, I love his voice as well. It's very charismatic. I like how it was opening. Ta-tay! Again, if you do that in a correct way, you can feel your abs just like tuck in, and the body is asking for that support on that tone for sure.
I like it. 이런 게 사랑이면
Okay.
네, 뭐 이 정도면은 저희의 소개를 다 한 것 같은데요.
Yeah.
이제 진짜 본격적으로 가볼 텐데 여러분 준비됐습니까?
Yes, sir.
오케이, 그럼 여러분
They're so
저희
silly.
데뷔대로 돌아가 보도록 하겠습니다.
Okay, 2016.
Way too silly.
8월 25일. 차차차차차 윙검
저희가 방금 껌 좀 씹었습니다.
Haijin has one of those voices that is just, you don't even know if it's real. When you get this clarity of performance, you know, like Dingo does have a post-production that's been settled, but they also do a little bit of a post-production to bring out the best qualities of the voice. So just, you know, all the balancing, all the little reverb, all that stuff, like just like deriving the best out of it. And then Haijin already has a really great voice, and then when you hear it so crystal clear and the perfect microphones and everything, I bet they have the best of the best technique on the market, right? And then when you hear that voice coming through, you're just like, is it real? Is it real? How can a person sound like that? It's a really gorgeous tonal quality with a very, very interesting stylization that fits. So again, his stylization would not fit everyone, but it fits him, and it's a match made in heaven. It's gorgeous. Oh, I love that harmony added up. That was in falsetto. That was such a beautiful harmony on top. Okay, I am incredibly pleasantly surprised by the vocal arrangement for this performance for entire NCT Dream. The vocal arrangement is amazing. Usually bigger groups, do have vocal arrangement. I'm not saying some do, some don't, but this is really creative and really smart, and it's creating the most beautiful effects. Like, I love that more massive bottom line that we got, like a couple of voices kind of singing unisono, creating that kind of chanty sound, and then like that little second voice on the top creating that really soft upper line above it was just such a beautiful touch.
달콤한 chewing
철라야 농구 잘하려면 어떻게 해야 돼?
Abracadabra
Long time no see.
Abracadabra.
Don't you?
유난히 고요하던 밤하늘을 바라보다가
I don't think I've heard him singing before. I genuinely don't think so. Where did that piercing voice went? Where did it go? That was literally not grammatically correct. That's how he confused me.
보다가 유성처럼 떨어지는 별을 봤지.
This, well, if you've heard ever of that kind of like a rumor, or like another rumor, the legend of like half airy, half clean singing from SM Town, right? This is what I would kinda put it in this category, but it's really interesting to see how much it changed his entire tonal quality. This was very soft, it was fuzzy, and you're like, what happened to Mark? Where did he go? What's happening?
예쁜 여자친구와 빨간 차도 갖고 싶어지만
I love the clarity of his voice. It also has a beautiful movement. Ta-na-na-na-na. He could have a really solid passage, probably because of his placement. There's not going to be too much restriction going up.
너무나 원했던 것은 그 누구도 모를 거야. 덩크슛 한번 할 수 있다면 내 평생 단 한 번만이라도 얼마나 짜릿한 그 기분을 느낄까.
Really nice jump. I was about to comment on his cries. They're really subtle, but it's kind of like a little bit of his quirk. It's very, very frequent in his singing. But that jump was also very solid. Someone is covering the lower tone in there, and it's so pretty. I'm gonna put a volume up a little bit. I'm gonna risk it. But there is a really, really faint lower voice that is creating really nice, solid bass. Listen to it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
It's very faint, but it's so needed there. It was really nice.
Yo, Cholo.
I am thinking who might be covering that lower tone bass in there. See, I do know a couple of members, but I still am not like, I didn't have a time to like really memorize everybody. So I still struggle with some people from NCT. I mean, it's really huge. So I know a couple, so feel free to let me know who is who, and if I missed someone, or hopefully not mistaken anyone, but like feel free to help me in the comments.
What? How you feeling, man?
I feel good. Why?
우리 지금 딩고에 왔잖아.
아 진짜? So what?
We hot.
High tone with those ad-libs. Like imagine their dorms, okay? Two people are arguing, third is about to just come into the argument and try to resolve it, and fourth one is just rolling in as well, and just Haichin is like, "Ooh, hey," and I'm like, Haichin, just shut up. We're trying to argue here.
And we young.
Oh yeah.
Let's go. 어른이 되면 기억남을까 지금 이 떨림.
I love his voice.
손 마주 잡고 눈을 맞추면.
Hey yo, Dingo, we're gonna have fun, cause we hot.
That was very close. Even the tone quality was different, but the technique was very similar there. That's why it sounded really close. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. So it's sitting a little bit more to the back. You can hear the difference. So I'm gonna give you front. It's on ta da 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 and Da 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 da. It's situated more right at the soft palate, so right behind the hard palate, sitting a little bit higher, and usually it helps you to create a lot of space in your throat, so there's no restriction. The sound is a little bit more elevated.
Here we go.
Every time you hear who or those like those ooh 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 tones that are in the ad libs usually, you can hear this at the beginning. Very often it's very pronounced in the microphone because microphones are picking it up. It's a really good way to stabilize. If you are just jumping into the tone, it can throw your tone off a little bit and you can struggle to stabilize it. But with that first air, if you try it at home, you're gonna see how much more stability you find if you could put that little bit of a pre-air before that tone.
재민아. 어디부터 다?
시작부터 다 예상 밖의 놀라운 스타일 작은 스텝들로
I am living for the texture that he has in his voice. I thought I faintly hear texture in his voice before, and I was like, no, this would be really, really daring. But there is a tiny bit of texture he puts on here and there. Not too often, but it's there. It's kind of like a little spice. Right there.
Too slow, too fast, 속도, control, 뽕뽕, 넓혀, tempo.
어디서도 기억해 널 계속해 똑같이 whatever 멘보도 밖에 닦아 춤췄고 차로 가도 바로 run let's go
I know 멀게 보이던 네가 선명해 결국 rendezvous.
That was a good usage of that voice. He really dropped it nicely so he could get as much resonance from the chest. Dunda, the dunda, the dunda. Really, really nice. It was very faint fry, but not too much. Just a fuzz. Just a little fuzz. And it was coming through so nicely. These are like the gorgeous voice twins. These two. They've been blessed, and how did they like get them in one group is beyond me. Literally, this is just I cannot even point properly. Oh my god. Thank you. That took some time to my brain. So those two in one group is just, that's incredible luck. First of all, they can sound really sweet and they have really beautiful tonal qualities. And I repeat myself, I'll say it 5 more times. It's gorgeous. That lucky pick, both of them. Having them in one group and the way that it can play off of each other, they have a very subtle differences in their voice. They're very often paired together, which I am absolutely loving because it's just like a double treble. I'm sorry to interrupt it again, but I actually absolutely love that we are very often creating harmony off of those two voices. There's not too much contrast between them. And even though I like harmonies with a contrast, this is a genius idea because it almost feels like layering of the same voice, but with a little bit of a twist. It's beautiful.
We go up, go up. We go up, go up. We go up. We go up.
It's a little yodel.
We go up. We go up.
Again, someone is creating the lower line there. I need to know who.
정말 스페셜한 곡입니다. 네, 이제 저희 NCT Dream에 대해 잘 아시는 분들은 아시겠지만 저희 이 7명을 지키기 위해서 많은 일들이 있었는데요. 무엇보다 우리를 지켜준 우리 시즌이들에게 이 노래를 더욱더 불러드리고 싶어요.
I have no idea what he just said, but yes, absolutely.
준비한 곡입니다. Graduation.
고마워요. Jenny, let's go.
My Korean learning is going absolutely amazing. I've learned like 5 words within the 4 months. I'm overworked, but listen, I'm trying. 4 words is something. We're getting somewhere.
지금 이 기분을 내게 전해야 할 텐데 마음이 조급해 마치 눈보라서
Good resistance. Ta-na-na-na-na. I really like his resistance. There is just tiny little bit of a restriction contributing to that really sweet resistance, and it's helping his huskiness to come through a little bit. So you have like ta-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. It's really nicely dropped and open. Alright, you hear the change in the texture there.
길을 밝히는 불 그래 너만을 보고 걸어온 거야 모두 변했죠 나의 세상 끝에 남은 너 얼어붙었다 저 은하수 녹일 거야 우린 하얀
I'm a big fan of his voice as well. It's just so warm.
외계인 둘러봐 지금 우리 둘뿐이야
That's a cute little hiccup.
떠나보내려 해 너의 사랑을 너무 잘 아니까
Put your hands in the air.
손은 들어
It was a beautiful, solid climb up to that head voice. A little bit. There was a little bit of a falsetto, but then we ended up pretty much in the head voice. But the climb there was so nice and fluent. It was really nicely working around the vocal break to make it very consistent.
안녕 마지막 인사하고 돌아서면 날 기다린 세상에서 걸어가
Oh, I'm loving the ad-libs.
여행을 시작할 때 graduation 그쳤거든 많이 행복하게 돼또 떠나보는
See, I love that he found the clean tone in that high space. So, so you have a really dispersed, airy upper register. You generally don't want that. It's way too weak. So you find one focus point just to give it a little bit of a clean tone.
다음 남은 건 따스한 손의 온기 그리고
I genuinely don't think I've heard him sing
저희
before.
시즌이가 제일 좋아하는 ANL이 아니라 고래입니다. 같은 고래야. I will dive into you. Let's go.
Oh, you and I know 나득한 나의 밤
No pressure.
너의 품에 빠져 You and I 너에게 가다 Say what? I will dive into you I will dive into you Say what? I will dive into you Swim down to 눈앞이 바위
I like that ooh because it allows you to have a really nice access through the passage. Ooh, you can have a really good movement there. I like that whoop whoop.
자, 다음 곡은 저희의 따끈따끈한 신곡 바로 수록곡 파랑인데요. 바로 이 곡은 무려 고래의 후속작입니다. Oh my god! Let's go!
Wow, that was some speed. Oh, that was very fast. I would get lost like in the middle of that sentence. Also think about they're starting very, very high and they're going through the passage down to their just. So on its own, it's difficult to kind of navigate the descending motion like this in a voice, and then having this amount of lyrics in it is hard.
When I'm rich, 파도쳐 나 춤을 춰 헤엄치고 있어 태양도 내 모든 여름도 전부 주고 싶어 후회하는 그 순간 젖어드는 모션
It's really nice like oh, that's so cute. Okay, that was adorable. That was really adorable.
Don't stop the music 왜 멈춰 있어 춤추듯 돌아가 Life is a party 딱히 뭘 안 해도 Tick tock tick tock Life is still going on 그저 흘러가
This is a little atypical for Haechan. He's usually working towards lifting his voice as much as possible. And here on the other side, he actually dropped it a little bit and allowed a little bit more chest resonance to come through. That's why you could suddenly hear a little bit of a fuzz in his dun, da, 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 da. That little kind of, he's not necessarily going for the fry as I was here, but he's allowing that chest resonance to come through, which usually he's really dun da 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 dum. He would be sitting somewhere dun da 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 da. But as he allowed it to drop, it created a little bit more space. And we've got a little fuzz coming through.
DJ play that song 다음 노래 is like a music box 걱정은 그만해 오늘은 즐겨봐 잠시라도 life is still going on
오케이
아무튼 흘러가
야 요즘은 그리 풀이 죽어있어 야 어깨 좀 펴라 옆에 내가 있어 인생이란 게 뜻대로 안 되지 저 맘이란 게 맘대로 안 되지
That's why 어른이 돼가나 봐 사는 게 그런가 봐 사람들 다 앞서 나가는 듯한 나 혼자 멈춘 듯한
This your life
They have really fun rappers. I'm enjoying them. They do not have a particularly kind of like a darker rap, but they have more flows that are kind of more working with the pitch. They're very animated, nicely supported, usually like really powerful and really like kind of like aiming forward and really in your face, which I'm really enjoying because their rappers are very playful. It's kind of really nicely fitting into their concept. The rappers are really cool and they're really like, listen, to match Mark's energy is really hard and the rest of the guys are doing a fantastic jobs. Like really, like listen, when you have charismatic people like Mark, it is really hard to match their energy and the other guys that are in a rap line are doing absolutely fantastic job. They're standing out, they're holding their own styles and making themselves look really special in the group.
Under the time 막연한 불안함 Tell me if you're feeling that 나도 그래 가끔씩
고민 따윈 잠시 던져놔 To the sound of the music
마음속에 소리를 들어봐 원하는 건 do it Don't stop the music 왜 멈춰 있어
This is mostly in more of a belty space, so I'm really enjoying those tones. They're a little faint, very secretive vibratos, but it's just like a little bit of a bent tone more than the actual vibrato, but I like it.
춤추듯 돌아가 Life is a party so 딱히 뭘 안 해도 TikTok TikTok Life is still going on 그저 흘러가 Hey DJ play that song 다음 노래 It's like a music box 걱정은 그만해 오늘은 즐겨봐 잠시라도 Life is still going on 아무튼 흘러가 But life still goes on
Sing it boy
Mark, I'm having a moment. Jesus Christ. I'm like having a second of a moment and the interference. Excuse me. I love the sudden harmonies. They're just like they tingle. They do tingle. You're just listening and then they hit you. That harmony was beautiful. It was very R&B and with a little riff right after that.
딩고를 보고 있는 여러분이 주인공입니다.
Sing it, boy.
That's right
Irreplaceable
주인공
Irreplaceable
Every girl behind the screen is like blushing and kicking their feet.
아주 오랜 얘기처럼 당연한 것들이 있어 누구든 똑같이 답할 수 있는 그런 질문 말해서 뭐해줘
Very half air, half clean tone. This is where you can hear that it's not necessarily very clean, very half air. You could hear it on the diffused rest of the kind of tones. Like, a little bit of an air at the very end just to soften the phrase. There's no need to be too heavy, especially at the intro.
당연히 미녀하면 야소고
랩면 먼저 사람들은 떠올려 너의 이름
I wanna tell you love to you 아무도 바꿀 수 없게
그렇게 정해진 걸 love you 24/7 나의 주인공 이상 우리 irreplaceable 난 널 사랑이라 불러 아주 그 순간조차 벅차는 걸내 모든 이야기는 봐도 너인
Vocal arrangement coming through again.
내 주인공 꼭 될 수 없는 한 문장처럼
I think it's him. Is singing the low tone. Am I wrong? I think. It's either him or him. But I'm leaning here because I heard him cover more of a lower tones with his like really relaxed dropped tone. Maybe.
넌 irreplaceable
It's so pretty.
네, 자 그럼 우리
갑자기 뜨거워진다.
공주님과 왕자님들 아주 그냥
Oh my god, it could be this one too. When he started to talk with that really dropped voice, da 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 da, I was like, oh wait, I think the tone quality might match. I don't know. You guys are confusing me.
신나게 즐겨볼 준비가 되셨나요?
Are you ready?
It's a pretty voice.
Crazy.
미쳐 날뛰는 밤 따윈 다 잊고 너를 습격하러 가 어서 머리 위로 우리 부르신 너 거침없이 태워 세상이 놀라도록 We put the fire alarm Let go We put the fire alarm
Nice hiccup that we get a fire alarm. Especially for Haechan, particularly for this performance, he's going wild. I usually see him like very, I would say very pretty and very precise and perfect. And not saying that he's not doing a great job in here, but he's having fun. He's using much more embellishments than I've ever heard him like use before. I think he's just having a great time. He's really letting go and just doing all things all over the place. And I'm really enjoying it because usually we have the pretty boy sound, you know, like the pretty voice. And now he's just kind of bringing out a lot of new tricks. It's fun. I love his rap so much, especially with that texture. It is very, very rare to find a person who can do texture really healthily. I know you're gonna probably ask names and will not name names, but there are a lot of rappers in K-pop that are trying to go for this like a textured sound and are doing it in a very unhealthy way, and they can really long term, you know, hurt themselves. And he has it in a very natural, very, very, very healthy way. So
모자를 쓰고 we hop out the crew 망설이지 않으면 pro not a crew 알아챘을 때쯤엔 이미 too late 모두 벙진 표정으로 touche 우리 보고 who that we the cool gang 아무것도 안 해 들린 맘을 빼네 What's going on?
listen, I'm usually biased for vocal lines. I don't know what's happening. I am usually biased with the vocal lines. But their rap line does something to a person. Their rap line is like insane. I am quite confused as of what's happening. That was like an attack after attack.
모자를 쓰고 we hop out the crew 망설이지 않으면 pro not a crew 알아챘을 때쯤엔 이미 too late 모두 벙진 표정으로 touche 우리 보고 who that we the cool gang 아무것도 안 해 들린 맘을 빼네 What's going on? 몰라 그냥
The order, the intensity. Ooh, that's great. That one phrase, I am saying it time and time again, dear vocal arrangement, because this is also part of the vocal arrangement, like being able to chain this with intensity like this.
Fire alarm, go! We're so young, we're so freaky. 우리들은 들어가진 제 진짜를 잃지. We be screaming go, 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 go. We be screaming go, 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 go. Dingo.
I love how some people are like, go, go, and another one with a texture, go. And then we have like, go. And you can guess who was singing, go. Everyone's just like, go, and go.
자 오늘이
Tell me who it was.
재민아
What do you
오늘이
think it
무슨
was?
요일이었지?
수요일이긴 한데 진짜로
아유 월요병 잘 이겨내세요.
기분 내게 하면 단어 너 되고 싶어 모두 sorry every
두려움은 zero 지금 반대로 설레는 심장 시속 100km
난 모든 조명들의 VIP 기다린 종로 기다리게 하지 기억해 어디서도 나의 빛 녹을 걸 네 맘은 아이스크림
Good lower range. Good lower range. He is able to drop really, really low without losing a lot of color. Yes, he's using much more fry as he goes lower and lower, which is perfectly normal and that's how it should be done. So he's getting more and more and more fry-y, but his color is not withering away. It still holds quite a lot of color in it, so it's pretty substantial.
Yeah, we got that 나를 던지고 너를 깨우고 Show me what you got 결과는 crazy 가슴이 뛰는 대로 뛰어 But right now
Mark Beatbox Let's go
Yeah, 배는 순간 heartbeat 기분 올라치
Can Mark beatbox, but like really, really beatbox, or this is just like he learned it for this particular song? I want to know.
Now we'll poke stick percussive drum hitting 배는 순간 heart 딩고 킬링보이스 beatbox
런쥔아
That was solid.
put it on replay.
Yeah 미쳐버린 핫 만들어 Yeah yeah 내가 beatbox box 터뜨려 Yeah yeah 모일수록 완벽한 공합 Everywhere I go bring the beatbox Yeah 지금 올라타
This is an interesting idea to compose a song around the idea of beatbox and utilizing different vowels and consonants for it to come through, just like beatboxers are actually utilizing them. That's a fantastic idea, actually.
Yeah yeah 내가 beatbox box 터뜨려 Yeah yeah 내 목소리 자체가 음악 Everywhere I go bring the beatbox Boom chiki boom chiki chiki boom Everywhere I go bring the beatbox
The B's there. Bring the beatbox. I like that impact on every single one of them. You cannot go really lightweight on any of those B's. Bring the beatbox. You have to really focus on them. If any of them would be weak, it's gonna fall very flat. Bring the beatbox. Like imagine. Bring the beatbox. And bring the beatbox. It has to be out there and very clean.
Everywhere I go bring the beatbox
네 여러분들 재밌게 즐기고 계신가요?
I personally love songs where you have whisper.
드림이 정규 3집으로 돌아왔습니다 ISTJ와 저희 성공개곡 Broken Melodies 불러드리겠습니다 근데 그 전에 한 번만 더 다 같이 외치고 갈게요 Say what?
Everywhere I go bring the beatbox
That's right
Bring the beatbox.
You me sleep 밤새 얘기하며 오늘의 달가별 너에게 보내
Do we have a rock ballad? Like a pop rock? Kind of like... Oh my god, they're fulfilling my dream.
Dream to Dingo 이유 별거 없지 눈 감아보면 내게 제일 선명하게 떠오르네 바보 같은 걸 알지 너는 저 멀리에 있는데 부족해 난 없지 완벽할 수 없지 흐트러져가는 소음일 뿐 잃어버린 그 something 미완성의 우리 I'll do anything to get back you
One more time
you
다 같이
Life is but
When I hear those two singing, my heart flutters. You have to forgive me. I have to.
저 멀리에 있는데 부족해 난 없지 완벽할 수 없지 흐트러져가는 소음일 뿐
I love his placement. Ta-na, 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 ta-na-na-na-na. It's so very pretty. I like his very subtle cries. And then what he is about to do right now, that beautiful cut right through the passaggio for that upper tone. Gorgeous, y'all.
잃어버린 그 something 미완성의 우리 I do anything to get back you.
One more time.
It's so beautiful.
다 같이.
Life is but a dream.
So it's cutting right through the vocal break. So you hear it is there. That's why I'm always saying, do not be scared of your vocal break. Vocal break can be beautiful. Vocal break can be fun. So, and if it's stylistically used correctly and you know what you're doing, look how gorgeous it can sound.
And we got history. I just wanna be the chemistry. Feel you next to me. You know that I hate this distance. Cause I'm just left here singing lonely harmonies, broken melodies, electric energy, I'm in ocean deep. Oh, I hate this distance. And I ain't singing.
Beautiful onset. And I hate singing. It's very pushed forward. And there's a lot of resonance right behind his front teeth. And I hate singing. Oh, this is why Haichan is absolute genius. He's such a stunning singer. And he's so confident in whatever kind of movement he's using, especially in his passaggio, is just so solid.
Broken melodies.
Really pretty.
네, 저희 타이틀곡입니다. 많이 사랑해주세요.
혹시
I think
MBTI가
that this
어떻게
is his
되세요?
new song.
ISTJ.
Introvert, 감각적, 파고적, 판단적. 널 해서 16 words 필요 없어. Sound awesome.
이고 빛에 유불러제 틀림없는 원칙 실수하면 안돼 완벽해 보이는 너도 고전하고 나는 function 차곡히 쌓인 너의 감정 속에 들어갈래 어지럽히고 싶어
Let's get it done.
너란 아이 너만의 루틴 끝을 별함 느낌.
It's interesting because with this sound, even it's a very aggressive sound. It's very like pop-ish, bop, neo sound. Whatever we're gonna classify that, right? Normally, you wouldn't expect anyone to be able to really showcase vocally in a piece like this. And like, listen, look at them. You are getting a gorgeous vocal showcase in here. And if I would give you just a sample, you would kind of be able to tell who's how well equipped and who's doing what. I love when D let him drop his voice down and have that really fried, cool, low tone. Who doesn't love that? Who doesn't love that?
Let's get it done.
너란 아이 너만의 루틴 끝을 별함 느낀 대로 날 풀어볼게 It's the way you are Glamorous Dangerous 너의 세상엔 없던 뜨거운 Let's talk about it Let's get
That had to be very nicely supported because they're sharp and short. Ta 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 ta. Try to do it without the support, and then you're gonna realize how much your voice can crumble if you're first of all not hitting them clean, and second of all, if you have just not enough support to stabilize that tone, it's gonna sound horrible. So really nice, sharp, clean, jumping right into the tones.
Let's get down
Let's get down.
맡겨봐 Make me proud
We'll love that harmony at the end.
Waiting for I'm just waiting for
Oh, I love the falsetto. He has also a very gorgeous voice, so you don't come for me in the comments that I didn't comment on him enough. Gorgeous voice, really beautiful. He's mostly moving in his chest, so it's very obvious that he does prefer to stay more anchored. But when it's needed, he absolutely does move higher. But it's obvious that he does prefer more to jump right into his falsetto on the other side, stay anchored more in his chest voice. Unlike the rest of the vocal line where they're moving much more in their passaggio and they're much more comfortable in their passaggio. For example, this is beautiful.
No one can compete with you. You all I want is big bass. Say 눈이 부신 내가 궁금해. 혼자 있는 내가 있어 내 여기 있어.
너란 I 너만의 루틴 같은 별한 선택.
The midsection in this song is confusing, but there's a lot of vocals, there's a lot of goodness, so I'm just down with it. I'm just happy with it, but it's so confused.
It's the way you are and rust, dangerous. 너의 세상에 어떤 뜨거운 let's talk about it. Let's get down, let's get down.
Ooh, those ad-libs though.
Make me proud.
Ah, that was more of a head mix. Make me proud. You can hear the rock-ish quality there. Beautiful.
신나게 놀고 갑니다.
Thank you, Dingo. Dingo.
Thank you.
I had so much fun listening to this Dingo. Oh my god, it charged me with energy. Every single song. They have gorgeous singers. They have incredibly charismatic rap line. Actually, I have to say that even though I'm still getting used to their overall sound, like when it comes to NCT Dream, they're very balanced. They're very, very balanced, and they have a lot of strong people there. When it comes to vocals, when it comes to rap, when it comes to charisma, they're playing off of each other very, very well. And everybody's role is very, very clear. So they are creating a really nice whole thing together. So if you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to subscribe right here. Here is the video that YouTube actually recommends for you. And here is rest of my Korean reactions. Please stay safe and healthy. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.